a lovely, lovely, bright, sunny Saturday afternoon, and I have no intentions of going outside today. Instead, I want to take care of the whip wagon that I have. It's just one of those rolling wagons from IKEA, and I have absolutely stuffed it with everything that I need to finish, and today I would like to go through all of them and see how many I can finish in a day before then actually properly getting organized with all the other projects that I would like to start very soon and that I'm very excited about, but I can't make myself start any more projects until I can fit the ones I'm currently working on the wagon itself. And there's a variety of projects here. It's a pretty much 50-50 split between sewing and knitting projects, and there's also a bunch of stuff in here that I just put there because I didn't really know where else to put them. And we just moved. We moved here a couple of weeks ago, and we have like unpacked everything, but nothing is organized or where it should be, at least for my sewing and knitting stuff. I just have everything sort of crammed into the space that I have, which is mainly this big blue cupboard and some other like little nooks and crannies that I have around the apartment. What I should do with this wagon here, I'm gonna just... As you can see, she is quite stuffed and quite messy. It's overflowing, and we need to get cracking on that. Oh. Okay, let's go with that. So the first thing I have in this basket over here is I have almost all the pieces cut out, I believe. It is a bandana dress. I've been wanting to make a bandana dress for so long, but I never really thought it would make sense to buy brand new bandanas for this, because bandanas are everywhere. Everyone's buying them and getting rid of them. And this is like sort of almost, I guess, dead stock bandanas. I bought them from a site that sells like overstock from grocery stores, and they had just a big batch of bandanas in. So I got 10 of these brown ones that I'm using for the dress. If my calculations are correct, I will end up with one bandana that I won't have to use for this dress. And so for that leftover bandana, I'm thinking maybe just keeping it as a bandana and using it like that. And then in the bottom, underneath all of this, I started like a scrappy project, but I got a little bit too overexcited and I didn't do it right. I mean, it's supposed to be, you know, I've been seeing a lot of these like crocheted and knitted hats recently that's like done sideways, and then you have a brim that you fold up, and then you just sew the one side seam together and at the top, and then you have a hat. I think those are really neat, and I wanted to make one as well with some scrappy scraps. And yeah, I just don't really like, I mean, I know that I want to use these colors, I just obviously haven't figured out the ratio. So this is like partly unraveled. Put it right in the middle of the table. Okay, and then this is bandana dress basket. There we go. And I'll put you to the side. And the other thing I have right here on top that I will absolutely be able to finish today is this. Is essentially a wearable mock-up of a wrap blouse. The pattern is like from the 70s, I think. Super cute. I did make some alterations. I did lengthen the bodice portion a bit, just because I have a pretty tall torso, and I probably did it a bit too much. But okay, obviously this is not great, but I have some lace detailing here in the facing, and I used this is made from a pair of sheets, so this is the original lacing that was on the sheets. Very cute. And all I essentially have to do is sew on the other sleeve and then hem the sleeves on the bottom, and then it's finished. So this truly will take me maybe half an hour to finish. I just have to get cracking on it. This is one of my infinity projects. It is a ginormous, absolutely gigantic knitted sweater. It's just kind of something I made up as I went along, and my plan with this is I've knitted all the pieces. I started seaming them all together, and I tried crocheting them together, but I just don't like it for the side seams. It's great for like the shoulder seams, I feel it's great, but the side seams just become way too bulky, so I'm gonna undo that and stitch them together instead, just so I lose a little bit of bulk, because my plan with the sweater is to I want to dye it a bright blue, and then I want to felt it so that it shrinks and become kind of dense. The top is just another scrappy project. I obviously was gifted like a Bagger's book for my birthday. I've been wanting it for a while, and I read like 30 pages of it, and then I immediately started a bunch of scrappy projects. And yeah, I mean, it's essentially, I'm just like freestyling a sweater, a v-neck sweater, kind of a little bit boxy sleeves. I've been a little bit better about like not getting too overexcited and doing things, color changes too quickly with this. My plan is to make it like gradually lighter and lighter with the grays, because I have a lot of grays and I don't really use that much gray. I think these are all from my grandmother probably, and I would just like to get some use out of these because they're like good quality. Like this wool, I have never really liked thick yarns in that sense. I think this is like a 4mm, but this wool is so soft, so soft. And there's just like other yarns, loose balls of yarn here as well, that I don't really know what the point of them being here is, other than I have no idea why. I don't know. I don't know. I probably didn't know where else to put it, so I just put it here. Okay, and here we have some little woven squares. They're really cute actually. It's like a mohair and 2 strands of pink, I think 1 mohair and 1 cotton, and then this yarn as well. I love this yarn. I use it everywhere. The color's a little bit weird. It's like maybe a greenish turquoise. I don't know. Okay, but here's the thing. These are super cute, but I ran out of mohair immediately. I just found some I had at home. And what am I gonna do with like 3 of these squares? This one doesn't even have the mohair, it's just acrylic instead. So my plan is to undo these and use it for, I want to make a little knitted vest in these colors, but more like a striped, other than just instead of just like the colors mixed together, because I like all the colors and I like them all together, and I think it would just, the impression would be a lot better if you could see the colors separately instead of piled together, because from afar, it's not that great. And I have something that I started years ago. Never really got around to continuing it. The plan for this was I just had this long strip of woven linen fabric. I think the warp is cotton and the weft is linen actually. Either way, I decided to make this into an embroidered belt. So I made the center line. I wanted to make just some little white leaves. I wanted it to be fairly neutral. And this is how far I got. And this is how much I have left. I did use some fabric paint to print out the little leaves so that I can make them at least somewhat even. And then my plan was to just sew it together and use two D-rings to keep it together. When will I ever finish this? Who knows? Who knows? I have not totally abandoned it yet, because it's still like everywhere I look I see this and I never want to do anything on it. I'm just so really bad at embroidering. I want to be, and like I know you have to, in order to get better at embroidering, you have to do it. You have to practice something to become good at it, and I like to embroider and I think it's really, really beautiful. But I can just never bring myself to do it actually. And that coincides with another little thing. This is like a dust bag that my duvet covers came in. And I'm never gonna put the covers back into this bag, because why would I? I'm not that kind of person. But it has this little label on it, and my plan was that maybe if I unpick this label, do some embroidery on it and put it back, I could use this as a project bag instead. And that seems like a good idea to me. It really does. However, the thing with embroidery is that I never know what motif to do. And with this one, it has to be something that sort of like covers the print. So yeah, I've also just been like having this lying around, thinking that maybe I'll just get a spark of knowing what I want to do with this, but I'm not there yet. Let's move on to this crinkly bag I have below it. Now this one is also one of those things, I should just finish it. It's almost done, actually. I made a vest maybe 2 years ago, I think, out of this gorgeous bottle green Swedish wool, except it didn't turn out right. It was too wide, too short, and the neckline was kind of bad. So I did unravel it and I started re-knitting it about a month ago. And I mean, yeah, it looks like a whole ass mess, but it isn't actually. It looks great. I know that like the tension looks like absolute shit, but I know from experience that this will block out, because the last vest I made looked like absolute shit when I knitted this as well. But then after a good ass wash, everything just smooths out and it looks beautiful. And to make it a 2x2 ribbing, which I almost never do anymore. So I did one row, and then when I started the second one, I realized that I had made little mistakes everywhere. It was like, oh, here's 4 pearls in a row, and here's 1 knit and 3 pearls and 2 knits and 1 pearl. So I have to, I mean, it's just 1 row that I have to redo, but I guess I have to focus. I guess I just have to focus. I mean, I guess that's it. I'm working at the same time because I have different needles and I just sort of attach them together at the shoulders. I realized that a lot of times things just work out better if I start here and then I make a half, the first half, and then I make the other half from this side, join it in the center, and then go down to my armpits, and then I just sort of make a copy for the back, but you know, with a different neckline. That tends to work better to get the fit that I want actually, instead of working like from the bottom up, because I have pretty like tall shoulders, kind of wide, so I need like some extra space between my armpits and the top of my shoulders. And if I just follow a pattern, I never get that. I have to make these adjustments myself, and I always think I make them tall enough, but I never do. So this is honestly a lot better, and it does also make it easier for me to fit it for the rest of my body, so it doesn't turn out too big or too small or whatever. Actually, it just works a lot better for me. And I know that like knitting things in the round is a lot easier. I mean, I actually prefer knitting everything in the round, but I just noticed that it's easier for me to fit things when they are flat. Maybe because I've spent much more time in my life sewing than I have knitting, and so I'm used to, you know, imagine shapes in that sense of like a half front, half back, and then just making the sides equal. I think that's just like way easier for me to figure out, because that's what I'm used to. Oh, okay, here's the rest of the gray yarn for the scrappy thing. So I guess I should just sort of stuff all of my everything related to it into this bag, so at least they're together and everyone's happy and smiling and no one feels alone. Here's another project bag. This one is actually made from an old pant leg from my husband's old linen pants. But in here we have the most gorgeous little lettuce leaf mohair with these pink and purple and coral dots in it that like pretty far apart. Okay, here we go. There's I don't. Why did I show you a thread when I could just show you what I've made so far? So here she is. This is a sleeve. I've made 2 sleeves at a time, just to keep them at an even length, because I'm really bad at making sleeves the same length. And I think I kind of put this on pause because I'm not sure if this will fit, but also I kind of feel, because I mean it fits, I just not sure if it's the fit that I want. I think I maybe want it a bit looser, but also this is just knitted with 1 strand of this mohair with needles number 5, and it's very fluffy. I think this yarn is like from the 80s or something. I think it's so beautiful. I want to wear this all the time, all over my body and my soul. So, but what I need to do, as I probably should, I mean, it is very stretchy, but it's also like, will it stretch out and become shorter when I block it? I don't know. I have to finish this. Wouldn't this be the absolutely cutest spring cardigan? Oh, look at her. I think I'm most excited about this one. I kind of want to do nothing else but finish this one. Knitting the sleeves 2 at a time. Oh, okay. Oh, she is so pretty. I have a love affair with anything that's light green, I realized. It's getting kind of embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed. Oh, God. Okay, I'll put you up here. I don't even want to show this. I just made like a little trial weaving because I got a little loom. Loom. Love her. I've been fixing her up over the past couple of days and she is as good as finished. The only reason I haven't finished her is because I had left our hammer at our old apartment, and I just got it back yesterday, so I just have to finish nailing in some nails, and I need to tie a few more knots, and then it's ready to start using. I'm super excited about it. Oh yeah, that's the whole reason why I found it, because it's actually a toy loom. It's for children. I bought it at a thrift store. I've been wanting a loom for a couple of years, And I always thought I would buy myself one for my birthday, like a medium-sized loom, maybe a tabletop loom. And then my birthday came and went, and I was at a thrift store, and then I just suddenly saw that loom. And I was like, why have I never thought about this before? Why should I commit to something big and expensive if I don't even know that I'll properly get use out of it? And finding like second-hand looms, you can only find the really, really big ones. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this tiny baby one. I won't bring her out now because everything's a mess and I don't want to get up. But I named her Stina, and my plan was that she could live on the top of this whip wagon because she perfectly fits in the top section of this. So which is why I also don't want to have a gazillion whips at once. And it's also just so I can work on what I feel like at the time. And then when I'm done for the day, I can just roll her away. Or like if we have company, I can roll this into the bedroom and hide it. And I won't have to... It's just a good solution for me and my whips. And also if they're all visible in this wagon, there's a smaller chance of me forgetting about it. Because when I get this situation under control, I have an entire moving box filled with whips, essentially, kind of abandoned, a little bit of a mix of all sorts of things. And my plan is that as soon as I get a free spot on this wagon, I have them all sorted out into separate bags in the box. All the bags look the same, they're all like trash bags. And so my plan is to just, once I get an opening on the wagon, so to speak, I'll just grab a bag from the box and start working on it. And then when I'm taking a break from it, I can put it on the whip wagon and it won't be left in the dust and in the dark for years to come. But I'm trying to like combat the shiny object syndrome, which is like, you know, always wanting to start a new project instead of finishing what you got going on, because what you've been working on for a while isn't shiny anymore. And that's kind of sad, because it was shiny at some point, and I loved it. And I should finish the things I start, or at least like repurpose them if I feel like that was a weird impulse and I'm never gonna finish it. So which is why the whip wagon is going to be my new thing here. Okay, this is just some... This shouldn't be here, this is just the rest of the sheet for the wrap top. I thought I would need this for something else, but I don't, so I'm going to put this back where it belongs. And I have one final whip in this basket, and it's kind of it's a bit messy, but it's a kind of rough first mock-up actually of a handbag. And I have to say, I really like this shape. I think it's cute, I think it's a good size. I'm lacking in interfacing at the moment. I feel like I always buy a lot of interfacing when I go to the fabric store, but then I never actually have enough when I want to make something. I have no idea where it goes, what happens to it. Yeah, but this is just a sample. I just kind of want to see the shape and the size of it, and I will make do with the lack of structure for this bag. But I think it's super, super cute. I am working on a digital pattern, a PDF pattern. And so far, I mean, it's kind of weird when you get something, when you get the shape of something right on the first try. It just kind of doesn't feel right. Like, I mean, obviously there's things I have to fix, like the construction. I kind of really didn't think this through, and now I have to reconsider it. And also it's just one long continuous strip of fabric all around the sides and for the handle, and I need to move the knot just a little bit. It was very difficult to get these corners look pretty and they aren't that pretty. I mean, it works, but it's not great. So there's room for improvement, of course. There always is. And I will work on that, but honestly, why is it so good on the first try? That's kind of rare. This one I am actively working on, but the thing is, I know what I have right now, and I also know that I won't be able to complete a better version of this until I get some interfacing. And right now I can't afford more interfacing. So I guess I'll just have to put it on hold for a while. And that's fine, but because, I mean, obviously, I'm surprisingly happy with how it just came along on the first go. So it's okay if I need to take a little break until I can afford to finish it. Okay, but in terms of restocking the cart with all of these things, I mean, some things are gonna have to be put on hold, obviously. But okay, I'm gonna, because it's actually fucking overflowing and I still want to use the top portion for just my loom. So hang on, let me get it. Well, joke's on me. She actually doesn't fit. I mean, she kind of does, but I think she's looking pretty cute. And I am pretty confident that I will start warping her tonight. I'm gonna make myself a little scarf with some, I have so much, oh wait, I'm stuck now, tapestry yarn that I got from my grandma, I think. And I don't really enjoy weaving tapestries. I've tried. I have one of those weaving frames, but it's just not, I don't think it's for me. I'm gonna give it another go pretty soon. But all in all, I know that the majority of that tapestry will be put to better use being a cute little checkered scarf for me. I've been considering some things to do for April, and I do believe I need to like schedule time to actually embroider things, because I mean, I can't just be walking around being like, oh, no, I can't embroider anything, I'm so bad, and not actually trying, and then just sitting on all of these embroidery threads I have a shit ton of, also from my grandma, and not, you know, do anything about it. So obviously, I'll probably have to start with this again. You can't get better at anything if you don't actively pursue it. You have to try constantly and constantly and over again. Okay, so for the projects that are going back into the wagon. Okay, we got the adorable green cardigan. I started her maybe 6 months ago, and I was like, oh, it'll be ready for spring, and it'll be super pretty. I'll be the girl in the gorgeous green cardigan running around town in the sun. And now it is sunny, and I don't have my cute green cardigan. I'm gonna put her on the priority list, actually. I really want her. Okay, loom. Stand over there for a while. Okay, the bandana dress. She's not top priority. I'll just, no, she has to be on top. This basket doesn't fit anywhere else. Okay, and then no, okay. The little box with my notions can go in the middle, and this scrappy knitting will go on the bottom. This vest will go on the top, because I mean, what am I waiting for? Just get it done. I know it's kind of boring just knitting stockinette for 100 years, but I just made some swatches the other day. I only have one of them here. Like, I have this. It's a very, very pretty boucle yarn that I have. Where's the... There we go. No, wait. There we go. It's kind of rough. It's kind of textured, kind of fun. So I just want to make like a really simple, oversized, top-down stockinette sweater with this, and I'd love to get it started. But also in the move, once again, everything is unpacked, but nothing is where it should be. So I have no idea where my knitting needles for this size is. I need my 4mm knitting needles, but they're gone. I mean, at least the round ones. I only have all of my other sizes, and I have all of my straight needles, which is great for knitting swatches, but what am I gonna do with it now? Okay, this sweater, I'm gonna finish steaming her together today. Okay, but I'm just gonna toss her over there. That's a couch project. This little project bag, I mean, I'll put her in there. She knows she wants to be there. And okay, here we have things I'm doing today. The blouse and the unraveling the little squares and okay, here's what we're doing. Because the bag project is kind of on hold, I'll take it out of this little basket. I mean, having separate little baskets just makes everything easier. And I'll put this scrappy beanie thing that I'm gonna unravel. I'm gonna put it in here because it's a whole mess of yarns. I will probably need some scissors as well. Wait, are these my... These are my 4mm needles that I needed for my sweater. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to cast on something new today, because that seems like a fun idea for me to do. Okay, no, not tonight. And then also, one last thing I forgot to show you, because I just tried it on. This is a little vest/tank top that I knitted, and I did some essentially A/B testing on these sides because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too loose or too tight or anything, and this side is clearly the winner. On this side I picked up 2 out of every 3 stitches, so because it's just a stockinette and it's doubled and folded over, this side just looks a lot better. This one is too loose, which is what I was afraid of. On this side I picked up 3 out of every 4 stitches, and it's also, I think, 2 rows longer on this side, and this side I believe is 8 rows wide. Yeah, but this is clearly the winner. So I'm gonna undo the other side, and I'm gonna undo the neckline. The neckline needs a little less stitches, and I'm also gonna make it 8 rows long instead of 10. It just looks a little bit too cramped, and yeah, because it's not ribbed, it's not gonna like shrink. So I need to make sure. And then also, I kind of knew that I needed to unravel it, so when I did cast it off a bit too tight as well, because I was afraid I was gonna run out of yarn, but I didn't have to be worried about that. So yeah, other than that, I just need to weave in the ends. No, people talk about weaving in ends as you go, but that's no. It's like at least undoing the neckline and one of the armholes, I could do that. It's gonna take me a little while to knit the new ones. I'm not super fast. This is all made with 2mm needles, and I have to say, despite I haven't blocked this yet, but my stitches look really even, and this is for a yarn that has absolutely no give whatsoever. But okay, this one is also going in the today pile. That's all TV business, squares pile. And okay, this one goes back in the wagon. And now the wagon is full, but like in a comfortable way, not in an overcrowded way, I guess. Yeah, so I'll just show you what it looks like, and then I'll get to work. Down here and all the way up. Yeah, that's a lot better. It's not as crowded as it used to be. This isn't as overwhelming. At least you can see what you have going on.